Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I think we're on episode number 80 of our series where we're playing our 10-minute games, and I'm going to be walking you guys through my thought process in these games. We're going against a Silly from, I'm going to guess Azerbaijan. Kazakhstan, there we go. Going against Silly from Kazakhstan. Tough flag, but hopefully it won't be too tough of a game. This is the Nimzo-Indian where we played d4, or he played d4, we played e6, c4, knight f6. Move order doesn't really matter, but after knight c3, we played bishop b4, or bishop b4, pitting this knight. Idea is really going to be about playing for these light squares, as you guys can see. We'll probably play like b6 and then put this bishop on this b7 square to control these light squares even more. Bishop's over here to pin this knight that was controlling light squares, so we took away a bit of his light square control. But he's played queen c7, and we've got ourselves a choice, I guess. We could play d5 here. Yeah, I guess queen c7, or queen c2, sorry, really just helps him play e4. And maybe for that reason we will play this move. But yeah, because d4 really stops him from playing e4, or sorry, d5 stops him from playing e4. Because then we just take, and then knight can't take because of the pin, so if queen takes, our knight just takes back. If we play b6, he plays e4, and then we fianchetto our bishop. We could be letting him get him. We could be letting him get in an e5 pawn push, which would be a bit annoying. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead with d5. That makes sense. Just going in straight for that d5, stopping him from playing e4 himself. If he ever plays something like a6, we can take, or we can kind of just go back. It's up to us, really, what we want to do. Don't want to go this way because after a3, we go here, and he's going to play b4. We go back here, c5, and our bishop is trapped. Here we go. We get bishop g5, same idea as our bishop pin. He's pinning that knight, and now we're losing some control over the center square. If we play a6 and he backs up, we play here. That's definitely a move. But I guess you could just take here as well. Then we're attacking this pawn, which would be pretty interesting. A6 is probably a good move here. We could also just bring our queen all the way back, but then we do let him get this move in, and I don't know how much I like that. Right now, if he just moved back, he also just has the ability to castle, which is a little annoying. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with a6, really see what he wants to do with this bishop. If he keeps this pin, good for him. But maybe we want to play something like c5. Or actually, if he keeps this pin and we play c5, maybe he takes over here. And we can't take with the knight because we lose our queen's pinned. If we take over that queen, it's a bit uncomfortable. Of course, the knight is still pinned, so he can't take us, right? But maybe the bishop takes back, and then if we take with their pawn, we do have some messed up pawn structure. So maybe we just play something like c6. Just c6, so if he takes, then we just take back with this pawn. That seems to be good enough, but I don't know what this bishop's going to be doing then. If we play b6 right here, he takes, and then if I take the pawn, I don't like that too much because it's really like we have no way to stop this, really bring this out. But I think I'm gonna go ahead with b6. If he takes over here, I'll take with this queen. Okay, and he's played e3. All good. I'll go ahead and put this bishop on this amazing diagonal. Right now, if he plays something like bishop, yeah, okay, he doesn't. So no, that's all fine. Something we could do is take over here. He takes back. We take over here. He takes this. But it doesn't look like that matters. Over here, we could maybe have to develop this knight. That's the last thing remaining. If we develop this knight and he takes over here, I guess we just take with the bishop. Not too much of a problem. Or we can develop this knight here and then try to bring it into g6, which is also an idea. Let's go with this move. Just the ability to play c5 ourselves is pretty nice. I want to keep that open. If he plays a3, maybe you want to come back. If he takes here, then we take, he takes, I take. Looks all good to me. a6, maybe we take here. And don't expect his queen to take, because then we have b5, he goes here, we have knight on a brilliant square, and then maybe c5 also comes in. But if pawn takes, he takes, maybe we still get this amazing square. I think I'll go ahead and take. Okay, he just played this move. I'm going to go ahead and play b5 right here, and then put this knight on this amazing square for us. He goes back. Makes sense. We could put a knight here, but then he does have these funny things over here. So instead, I think if I take here, it's all good. I think I'm going to go ahead and take. Okay, and he has opened up this, which is just a little annoying, but that's fine. Maybe we play the queen over here so we can get castled. That does make sense. That definitely makes sense. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we're also threatening to take here, and then if he takes back like a bishop, we take over here. He takes over here, I take over here. Right now, though, there is a bit of a problem because if we take here, his queen takes, I take here. His queen could be taking over here. Or even if we mess with this move order a little bit, he takes with the pawn, I take over here. Then he gets this pawn. But I guess we're taking this rook right now, so it's all good. It's just something to think about because it is a little worrying. Just a little worrying. It's a little like, oh, what's going on here? Let's say bishop comes over here. We take, his bishop takes, I take over here, he takes back, I take the queen, I'm attacking his rook. He can't castle. Okay, he played this move. So if we take over here, he takes with this queen. Seems to be all good for him. Because now if we take over here, he takes with the bishop. I think I'm going to go ahead and play c5 first. If he takes here, I'm going to take with the pawn. Or if he takes here, which one do we take with? If we take with the bishop, I guess he has this move. We back up. He could be playing something like this, and it's a little annoying. He's getting in all the way. Maybe we play queen over here, and of course if he takes, then maybe we take back. But I don't know how I feel about this entire thing. This thing being opened up. He goes over here with his queen. That makes sense. Knight is in a pin, and if we castle kingside, we're going to be dropping this knight, which is not too good. Something we could do now is take over here. If his queen takes, then it's a bit different, though. We could also castle queenside, but then we're dropping this thing, so that's also a little annoying. Maybe we just play our queen over here, or king over here. I think we're going to go ahead and try this out. King just in the center of the board. E7 seems to be safe enough. I don't know if there's too much of a problem there, actually. Rooks are connected, so we are one step ahead in that way. And he goes ahead and castles this way. That's definitely cool. I'm thinking about playing this move right here. I think I'm going to go ahead, push, try to see if we can get something done on the king side, because he did just castle king side. We already have a rook on the h file. If we can open this up, it would be very nice. So we'll see how my opponent reacts to this threat, if you can call it a threat. Yeah, this is a very interesting game all of a sudden with him choosing to castle kingside. Because if I can open up a file, like if this queen pawn just wasn't here, I have this move and I'm just winning off the bat. So I'd love to just push this over here. If he takes, that would be great. I'm going to go ahead and push this pawn, attacking his knight, and then want to just take it checkmate. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to be doing. Maybe he's going to be just moving a rook out. Like, yeah, maybe just here. I'm going to go ahead and push. If he plays this move, I think I'm just going to keep pushing. And if he does take eventually, I'll just go ahead and take here and I double stack the rooks. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great time. Um, but if let's say he plays a rook here, I play this, he plays this, I play this, and he goes g3, not letting me open that up. I think we just go ahead and give him a check. If he takes the knight, I think I have queen over here, and he can't really protect this knight. And if he moves this knight out of the way, we're getting checkmate. So that still seems to work. Still seems to work. Okay, move that over there. I think we're gonna go ahead and try continue with this plan. He played that. Yep, I'm gonna go here. He played that. If I give him a check, okay, he has that move. I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece, opening this thing up now. And now I'm actually threatening checkmate in like 2. He could just play this move though. And it does definitely shut things down just a little bit. But I'll go ahead and take here. Okay, he does this. That's cool. Okay, he got his king over there. Oh, this is where we have to think. If we do this check, he takes. We don't have much. If we go here, we're threatening to promote. No, we're not. I think I'm going to go ahead and take here. He took with that pawn. Makes sense. I could put a bishop right here. It seems pretty strong. I'm going to go ahead and do that. He does this. I'm going to go ahead and play queen h6, threatening this check. Because I think winning this pawn would be nice. Right now, if he takes this, I'm going to go ahead and give him a check. He goes back, and then I checkmate him. So we definitely still have a threat. If he takes the rook, he's definitely giving something up. But he goes there. I think we're going to go here, and I'm attacking this pawn. And he doesn't have a way to protect it. Let's go ahead there. Cool moves, cool moves. I'm gonna go ahead and put my knight over here and try to see if I can get it onto the square. Feel like there could be something here. I think I just have this move. Okay, he played queen here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Now what? How do we continue? If we go with this, he has this check. It's annoying. Maybe we play this move. Try to do something like this. And try to break through here. We're just throwing out ideas at this point. Because I'm not exactly sure, but we're getting really low in time. Him too, because it's definitely a tough game. I'm gonna go ahead with this move. He can't take with this pawn because of the pin. He goes here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take here. He does that, makes sense. And this is where it's confusing. If we go here, how does he attack my king? I'm gonna try this move. I saw him that he's gonna try to give me this check, but if he gives me this check, I'm just gonna be over here, and I think I should be safe. Not exactly sure what else he can do from there. Very low in time though. I think I can actually give him this check. And let's promote this to a queen. Very, very low time for both sides. That is true. He only has one check that I see though, and it would be here. And after this, oh, he has this knight check. That's a bit annoying. I guess I have to go here, and then he can bring his queen in here, check. I go here, he has this check. Uh-oh. What have I stumbled upon? I guess if he goes here, do I have this move? Oh, yeah, I think I had that move. Actually, he didn't have any checks after that because my pieces are protected. But that's in 10 rating points. That's going to be great. Let's go ahead, head over to that game review because might have made some mistakes. It was a very interesting game for sure. Tough game. And we got to check this. Fortunately, this is still bugged. I'll have to figure out how exactly to fix this. But there's the board and there's the engine, and we can definitely check this out. Looking at the game, we did have some big problems. 3 really big problems from what I'm seeing. So we got to check this out. That's the Nimzo-Indian defense, and after queen c2, I played d5, which is a book move, so that makes sense. He played this move, I played h6, which is good. Best move, I don't know. I was just taking. I don't know what taking. It feels a little scary because I want to control these dark squares. If I take over here, he's going to get that big center. But he played that, and b6 is a blunder. b6 is a blunder because of queen a4 check. It's going to be a check, and he's also going to win this bishop. You just have to be careful about this diagonal. I always forget about this diagonal. I've lost games before because of this diagonal. I've lost games in tournaments because of this diagonal, and I keep forgetting. Right now it's not a problem, right? Because even if it was White's turn, if they give the check, I have knight to c6, protecting the bishop, and of course blocking the check. But after I play b6, I do not have this move anymore. What should I have actually played? Best move would have been still takes. I don't really like takes, so I'm going to go ahead to the analysis and really look if there's anything better. Um, g5 showed up. Castles shows up. Castles makes a lot of sense. Just get out of this. Get out of this entire thing. No more check if the king is just not there anymore. Castles makes sense. c5 is also there. So that's what I should have played, but I did not play that. I played b6. He misses it. I played bishop b7. Now, if he does give me that check, I do have knight c6, protecting everything, and the bishop is protecting the knight. So everything is all good. He plays a knight over here. I play knight b to d7, a3, and I go ahead and take that knight, which is all good. g5 is excellent, and I go ahead and put a knight on a pretty square. He backs up, and I take over here, which is excellent. And this is all fine until queen f6, and this is a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem because we saw this afterwards right here. But he can just take this pawn. And depending on what I do, let's say if I take over here. First he wants to play e4 because that's just amazingly strong. Go back. And then he has queen takes c7 attacking this bishop. If I go ahead and take this piece right here, it's not too great because he has bishop g5. And now all of a sudden my position is... It's pretty bad. It's actually very bad because, I mean, I'm about to lose a piece. If I go ahead and take here, he's going to first take with this check, and then he'll take this piece back. But if I try to add some sort of protection, like putting a rook here, he has knight e5, and I am just being crushed. I could add one more piece of protection with this queen, but knight takes and rook takes. I mean, he's definitely up material. He's just up material, so this is just straight up winning for him. So that would not be great. We missed that. Best thing to actually have played over here, instead of queen f6, would have just been taking that pawn. I still don't like taking this pawn, though. I don't want... Well, I guess at this point it's kind of given that he's going to have this. Something I could have played was actually g4. Very interesting. This knight has to make some sort of decision. He doesn't really want to go to h2 or g1, so I'm not going to consider those. He could go here, but then again, I'm controlling this square, and this square. So where is this knight going to go afterwards? So probably not anywhere. So I'm not going to look at h4 after that. If he goes here, I'm going to go ahead and take. He takes over here. I take over here. He takes over here. He's going to have some isolated pawns. My diagonal for this bishop is very strong. It's open. And this pawn is pinned to this rook. And this bishop has to hold down this pawn, so the bishop can't move either. So that does look very interesting. Last square would be to just go to d2. And that's also slight sad because it's right next to the king. I'd love to be in the center, but it's a little far. It will eventually make its way back, but if it goes to b3, I'm controlling both of these squares already. And if it doesn't really have too much of a future over here because of this pawn, I have a good grip on that. So g4 actually would have been a very nice square. Only problem with g4 is that sometimes I feel like, oh, it just feels so overextended. But the engine sees something and it sees that's not too overextended, so I guess it's all fine. But this happened, he plays this, and over here, I could have just taken the pawn. This apparently still works out well. Obviously, he's not going to take with the bishop because then he loses his stuff over here. But if he takes with the queen... Oh, wait, no. He does say bishop takes c4. This is one of the better moves. But I felt like I could just take over here. He takes, and I take. Oh, and he can castle queenside, which apparently is okay, but I'll play h5 and try to push h4, open things up like we did in the game just now. But I guess he does have bishop e2 very easily, or even queen e2, and then I'm forced to back up. Bishop e2 is also very nice because it opens this up. But after this, actually, after this, I would have expected his queen to take, and then I don't really know what I'm doing. c5 still comes up. So kind of the same exact thing. He plays this. I play king e7, which is excellent. That's actually pretty cool. King e7 is actually the best move. Sometimes it shows up as the best move. So I'll take that for sure. And then h5 is good. We played that almost immediately. It does like d takes c4 just a little bit more. Nope, there's h5. Guys, I'm just stockfish at a higher depth. h5 is there now. I'm going to play h5. He plays this move. I'm just going to keep pushing h4. He plays this. I'm going to keep pushing h3. C takes d5 is apparently the best move. Knight e5, all these things are showing up. But he plays g3, which is also there. Oh, now g3 is also up there. But now I'm just going to play h2. He's forced to go either here or here. He's not going to go here because that's just going to be horrible. I'm just going to get a queen. King g2 apparently is a slightly better move. And that's only because after h1 and I took over here, he's forced to go to g2 anyways. So g2 would have just been slightly faster, one tempo up, but of course it's still winning for me. Queen takes and then rook a to c8. I guess I'm threatening this thing, playing on this open file too, because he already has a lot of things to worry about over here. Cool. Bishop e4 is also there, actually, and that's kind of what we played in this sort of similar position after all this. And, oh, I played bishop d5. Yeah, this is the right move. Bishop e4 was just a little different, but I played this. He has queen before check, but we would be all fine. He puts a rook over here. I'm going to play queen h6, trying to break through. He puts his king back over there. I bring my queen forward. Idea just being to win this pawn, and I'll go ahead and win that pawn. He has this protection over here, so I can't take just yet, but I go ahead and play knight f6. He plays this, and I have knight e4, and I'm just up material. Over here, apparently the best move was not to take on c3, even though at this point we're just completely crushing. So I'll go ahead and take on c3. I don't really even care about looking at the other moves. And over here, I'm not gonna take immediately because this is gonna throw away my advantage. After this, he takes over here, and it's a fork. We're still gonna be winning at the end of this, but I don't. There's no reason to get into this more even position. So I played f5, which is excellent. He played this for some reason. King g2 is best, apparently, but he is just being crushed. And I think at this point, if you let the computer run just a little bit longer, it will eventually find some sort of mate. He played this. I took. He takes here. And I played king d7, which is a blunder. King d7 is a blunder. And that is because of the amazing move. Queen takes d5. And if I take back, he has this check. I move my knight, my king. He takes this piece. And all of a sudden, it's drawish. Engine says I maybe have a slight chance, but I completely lose my advantage. I was thinking, what if he plays something like this? And if I go here, this is a bit of a problem, maybe? Oh, but he doesn't even have this move in the first place because of this pin still. So I was not even in any danger. But the danger was just this move. He didn't find that, though. And I play queen h3, and I get my queen. And at this point, he is resigned. So, wow, that did make some mistakes over there. King d7, and I just didn't think about like that this knight could eventually move if this bishop just disappeared. Easiest way to disappear is just taking it. It's right there, literally a one square capture. Completely missed that. Wow, that is insane. But if he had taken that, he had a chance to equalize with that fork. Big tactic. That would have been amazing for him to spot, but unfortunately he did not. And we take 10 rating points. Other thing was just this sad blundering the bishop, but he didn't pick that up, luckily. But other than those two things, it wasn't too bad at all. There was this thing over here where we kind of just dropped a pawn. We should have first played c5. But that's fine. That's not the worst thing. Obviously, it's bad if he had picked it up, but he didn't. We got a little lucky there. 3 times lucky in this game. And we will for sure take it. But we just gotta be more careful with keeping all our pawns safe. It's very hard keeping everything safe when pawns are ready to be exchanged at any second and files are ready to be opened up. But that's part of the game. We just gotta remember that, especially when the queen is on a file that's about to be opened. Queen or a rook. You just have to keep an eye on that. But anyways, that was a game in the Nimzo-Indian defense classical Noah variation. Very interesting. And I think that should be it for this video. We've got 10 more rating points and we're at 2036, an all-time high. Amazing. progress over here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.